Good evening, and welcome to the Ramsey County Commissioner District 7 Candidate Forum. I am Kitty Goggins, a member of the Roseville Area League of Women Voters and resident of Roseville. I'm a moderator for this evening's Meet the Candidate Forum. On behalf of the Roseville Area League of Women Voters, I would like to welcome everyone, the candidates, those watching live, as well as those viewing on demand, and of course those in the room. The forum will last approximately 1 hour. The League is a nonpartisan, volunteer political organization for both men and women, organized at the local, state, and national level to encourage informed and active participation in government. This forum is part of our ongoing voter education efforts to help voters make informed decisions at the upcoming elections. This allows you an opportunity to hear candidates on issues that are important to you. There is never enough time to cover all the issues in a limited time in such settings such as this. If your questions are not addressed, we encourage you to contact the candidates directly. We hope that over the course of this program, you will learn more about the candidates and what they hope to do for Ramsey County. While we never endorse a candidate, we are directly involved in shaping the important issues to keep our community strong. If you are interested in learning more about how you can make a similar impact, I would encourage you to look at the League's information available on the website at www.lwvrosevillearea.org. The views expressed in this forum are those of the candidates and not those of the League of Women Voters, and sponsorship of the forum is not an endorsement by the League for any candidate. The forum is being broadcast in its entirety. It will be rebroadcast in its entirety on Channel 16 and is available on demand at www.vodmaplewoodmn.gov, vodmaplewoodmn.gov, and in the Maplewood YouTube channel. This year, the citizens of Ramsey County Commissioner District 7 are electing a commissioner to represent them. Both commissioners' candidates whose name will appear on the ballot in November were invited and are here with us tonight. We will use questions written by the audience at today's forum, as well as questions submitted in advance to the local League's email. Questions can be written on index cards provided by League volunteers and submitted to the volunteers throughout the forum. All questions must be addressed to all candidates, and no personal or attacking questions will be allowed. All questions become the property of the League of Women Voters. Answers to the questions similarly need to focus on the questions themselves. A candidate's record may be discussed, but personal attacks will not be tolerated. Let me now please introduce the two candidates for the Ramsey County Commissioner, District 7, position in their alphabetical order by last name, Kelly Miller and Sarah Yang. The agenda tonight will be as follows. All candidates will have 2 minutes to give an opening statement, and the speaking order was determined randomly before the forum. The timekeeper is sitting in the front row. When there are 30 seconds left for your speaking time, the timekeeper will hold up a yellow card that says 30 seconds. When you see a red stop card, you need to conclude. You can, of course, finish your sentence, but I will enforce this rule to make sure we give the same amount of time to each of the candidates. I will then ask questions with 90 seconds, 1.5 minutes allowed per response. The candidate order in answering the questions will rotate based on timing and flow. I may include a lightning round question that will only allow a 30-second response. At the end of the question period, you will have 2 minutes for closing statements, which will be given in reverse order from the opening statements. We now begin with opening statements. You have 2 minutes for each response. Today we'll be starting with Kelly Miller.
Buju abitabi gijinikwe indigenous, Magizi indumdam, Mississaugan indumjaba. Hello everyone, my name is Kelly Miller. I first want to start off by thanking Roseville Women League of Voters for hosting this forum, and Sarah for participating. I am running for Ramsey County Commissioner because I believe I'm the best candidate to lead our community forward towards a brighter future. My candidacy is grounded in a blend of lived experience, professional expertise in the nonprofit sector, and a proven track record in board governance. Having personally relied on county services, I understand the critical role that they play in the lives of our residents. My work in the nonprofit sector has allowed me to directly address the needs of our community, from providing essential resources to families in crisis to advocating for systematic changes that promote long-term well-being. I've consistently worked alongside the county on various initiatives, not only to deliver vital services, but to drive meaningful, sustainable change. My experience in board governance has equipped me with the skills to lead effectively, ensuring transparency, accountability, and strategic decision-making. I'm deeply committed to improving public health and safety, strengthening community services, fostering economic prosperity, and protecting our environment. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly Miller. Next, we have Sarah Yang.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah Yang, and first and foremost, I just want to say thank you to Roseville League of Women for hosting this, and also Kelly being here, making this possible. I am running for Ramsey County Commissioner in District 7 because I am a proud Hmong daughter of refugees. I'm a young woman of color and a renter. I bring a unique perspective. I'm the first in my family to earn my bachelor and master's degree, and being the fifth of the 8 siblings. For nearly 7 years, I have served as an academic coordinator at True Upward Bound, dedicating myself to building safe, sustainable communities, and all that through grassroots and political efforts. My parents, Ye and Sandy Yang, fled Laos in 1992 due to political persecution. I was born in California. My family decided to move to Minnesota in 2005 for better opportunities and to be near families. I cherish spending time with my 14 nieces and nephews. I don't have any of my own, but I do hope soon with my wonderful husband, who we plan to have and raise in North St. Paul. Growing up in a low income and living in unstable housing, it has taught me the value of community and resilience. I understand the importance of stable, safe housing, and having these experiences firsthand when my family bought their first home, it drives me to my commitment to housing justice, in which I will bring to the county board. Additionally, I care for my disabled mother who lives on a fixed income, and this experience reinforced me to put my belief putting the care in the center of our system. I'm running for Ramsey County Commissioner because I firmly believe the county has a critical role in ensuring the success of our young people, their families, and elders. I'm ready and excited to do this work, and will continue to fight for access for safe and thriving neighborhood stable housing. With my grassroots organizing experiences, my professional and lived experiences, we can achieve these visions together.
Thank you, Sarah Yang. Well, we're now beginner questions. We have 1.5 minutes for each. First question, what are your top 3 priorities if elected? What are your top 3 priorities if elected? And Sarah?
Thank you. My top 3 priorities once I get elected is housing stability, workforce development, and improving our county services. And housing stability coming from my own experience living low income in public housing and moving from homes to homes and not understanding community, right? So I want to make sure that we continue to invest in homeownership opportunities and fight to increase the county program aid so that we can keep our property tax stable. Workforce development, I truly believe that our youth are our future leaders. So that being said, we have to continue to support our young people, working class people to upskills and with the Earn and Learn program. In improving our county services, we had to secure state and federal funds to support our county programs so that we can continue to invest not just in our people, but within our community as well.
Thank you, Sarah. Next, we have Kelly.
Yes. So my top 3 priorities are strengthening social services. Again, I see directly how county services affect people every day, and residents like myself to our neighbors needing a helping hand. By enhancing our social service delivery, we can better support vulnerable populations. By increasing affordable housing options, we can prevent homelessness and support programs that helps residents stay in their homes, and initiatives that work for all residents at any stage of their lives. Environmental sustainability. I believe in planning 7 generations ahead. And protecting our environment is not just a moral obligation, but an urgent necessity. I will advocate for bold, forward-thinking policies that align with the county's Climate Equity Action Plan. Community prosperity. I will work to attract and retain businesses, support local entrepreneurs, and invest in workforce development. We need to foster a strong, diverse economy so we can create jobs, support local businesses, and improve the quality of life for all residents.
Thank you, Kelly. Next question. Ramsey County has a stated goal to strengthen individual, family, and community health, safety, and well-being. What do you believe is the principal action needed to make significant progress on this goal? What do you believe is the principal action needed to make significant progress on strengthen individual, family, and community health, safety, and well-being goal? This question, we begin with Sarah.
Sorry, I just want to make sure I write the questions down. But something that my campaign we do, or I do personally, is we make sure that we continue to door knock and talk to community members. And recently I knocked on a door, and the mom that I talked to, she recently bought a trailer home. And I know for her, she struggled to able to save enough money to able to buy that house. And she still struggled today, as she could only afford a trailer home that only came with a 2-bedroom household. Not being able to work within the county and having to travel outside the county to work. So she struggled. So that story really resonated with me, because growing up, my dad is the only person that worked in the household. And for me to be able to continue to share the resources that we have in our county is important. And that's what I did. I share the resources that's available that we have in our county. And that being said, that we had to continue to do that so we can uplift each other, and also make sure that we continue to create generational wealth so that none of our children, or even us as elders or adults, have to struggle through all that.
Thank you, Sarah. Kelly?
Can you repeat the question one more time?
Sure. What do you believe is the principal action needed to make significant progress on strengthen individual, family, and community health, safety, and well-being goal?
Yes. Okay, so let's start with our county services. So our county services, we need to work for our county, for our residents, and that can start with our county staff and making sure that we have efficient employees that are able to do the job. Let's start then with going to access to housing, access to jobs, to good paying jobs, access to resources that can help them grow, safety. When you think of community and you think of where you want to live and where you want to raise your family, you want all of that, right? You want to be able to live in close proximity to food resources, to transportation options, to housing, affordable housing, and also to good paying jobs as well. And just making sure that our services really work for all of our community members.
Thank you, Kelly. Next question. What expansion of trails and new connections of existing trails would you support? What expansion of trails and what new connections of existing trails would you support? This question is again, Sarah, if you'd like to start us off.
So I know this has been a really hot topic for a lot of folks and community members as well, with the Purple Line being put on Bruce Vento or on White Bear Avenue, or also on 61, right? And I truly believe that the Bruce Vento Trail is a beautiful trail. It's a trail that many folks still had to continue to use and will use in the future. And not just now, but later too, with our kids and grandkids, and even the elders that are still using it, folks that are using it to bike on a daily uses and even exercise. So that is something that I truly believe that we have to continue to upkeep with it, and also expand that trail so that any folks can use it.
Thank you, Sarah. Kelly?
I'm going to be 1,000% honest. I know of the Bruce Vento Trail, and I am not very educated in the other trails and connections, so I would rely on people who are and listen to community members' opinions and concerns and, ideas on how can we make them better for each other? How can we protect the trails that we have now? How can we connect them? How can we make them better and safe, continue that they are safe? But I am not 100% sure on other trails to expand or connect them to besides the current Bruce Ventral Trail, but I would lean on experts that are.
Thank you, Kelly. Next question. What would you propose that Ramsey County do to encourage businesses to invest and grow in the county? What would you propose that Ramsey County do to encourage businesses to invest and grow in the county? And this one, we begin with Kelly.
Yeah, so there's a few things that we can do. So we can offer tax incentives to new businesses. We can change policies to welcome more businesses to our county. We can work with some of the county programs that are already there to equip workers to find jobs. We can work with a few of, I think of, if we go into like the HRA board, a lot of those initiatives right there provide startup dollars to small businesses, to developers, right? Making sure that, our county is a county of choice for businesses to come, so the residents don't always face the burden of the tax. I also think of Ramsey County as one of the largest developed counties in the state, right? So making sure that we just have the space for that as well, and supporting local businesses, entrepreneurs, and even big businesses that want to come into our communities and provide employment opportunities and make Ramsey County their home.
Thank you, Kelly. Sarah?
Yes. I truly believe in supporting and small businesses and the current businesses that we have here. We have to continue to invest in them so that we can have community development. And I will look more into providing more resources to our small businesses as well. One big one is Maplewood Mall. As we all know and see that it's slowly dying, right? But we had to continue to work with our city partners, the unions, to make sure that we bring in constructions and rebuild that mall so that it can thrive again. And I know that is a mall that a lot of our young people and our elders use. When I go to the mall, I see folks walking in the mall, and that's their daily exercise. I always tell myself that I wish I had the energy to do that. I hope one day I do. And that being said, we have to continue to make sure that our roads are also up to date and that it's also safe, and we have sidewalk near our businesses so that we can continue to invest in them so they see that and they want to invest back into the county.
Thank you. Sarah, next we have a question here. What strategies do you support to meet the significant unmet need for affordable housing in the county? What strategies do you support to meet the significant unmet need for affordable housing in the county? And this one goes to Kelly first.
Yeah, so the quickest way to solve affordable housing is to build affordable housing. We need to, again, make sure that our developers, that we work with our city partners, the Met Council, and making sure that we are building housing that fits all income levels, that works for all residents, no matter what stage you are, whether you are going into your first apartment or you're downsizing or your income has changed. Making sure that the income guidelines are within the AMI guidelines for the county. So again, the fastest way to build or to fix affordable housing is to build affordable housing, and that is working with our local city governments and the Met Council in ensuring that our businesses our developers can build that. And I also want to add, though, that we need to make sure it's not just an affordable housing issue, it's making sure housing is accessible. When people have background barriers, they're not able to qualify for housing. If they do not have the 3 times the rent or even the credit score, it makes housing hard. And so making sure that housing is not only affordable, but it is also accessible.
Thank you, Kelly. Sarah?
Yes, we had to continue to levy for our housing and redevelopment authorities so that we can further invest in affordable housing, and also making sure that we preserve our current affordable housing too, that it has to be updated as well. as we see that a lot of affordable housing are not updated or upkeep, and we have folks living in these broken homes that it's hard for many families to live, and even young people who are learning how to be adults. And not just that, I truly believe in investing our elders, because our elders are the one who invested us when we were young, and now we had to give back. So we had to prioritize those housing, and it also make sure that we have accessibility for all.
Thank you, Sarah. The next question. What item in the budget would you cut first if the county has a shortage of funds? What item in the budget would you cut first if the county has a shortage of funds? And this question goes to Sarah first.
That's a really good question. That is a question that I have not thought of. So I won't be able to put a lot of reference into that, but I truly believe that everything that we do in the county is important, and everything that we put in our investment in and the funds in is everything that needs to go into, whether that's for roads, infrastructures, housing for young people, and also community safety as well. And where can we, maybe instead of cutting fundings, where can we put fundings into certain areas that it may already be uplifting, and maybe where can we put those money into other areas that may need more uplifting?
Thank you, Sarah. Kelly?
Again, wonderful question. I've had to be at decisions like this before in the work that I do, and been hit with this. So I think it's not an easy, we're going to cut this, we're going to cut that. It's really looking at our budget and looking at what is working, what is not working, looking at where can we cut from all programs so one is not being left out. Where can we scale back on some? Where can we work on increasing our revenues? And that could just not be, now I'm not saying increasing tax, but I mean like where can we subsidize that? So can we go for grants? Can we go for other options as well, rather than just going straight to a cut? Again, all services that the county provides are essential. They're essential services. So I don't think it's a quick one answer, we're going to cut this because that program. It's really looking at the budget overall and seeing what is working and what is not working.
Thank you, Kelly. Our next question is, do you commit to fighting climate change? If yes, what action do you support Ramsey County taking to fight the global climate change? Do you commit to fighting climate change? If so, what action do you support Ramsey County doing to fight global climate change? And this question goes to Sarah first.
Yes, I will commit to climate change, and that's a real thing. Some folks still believe that it's not, but as we do see it today, it is a real thing. And I will make sure that we implement our county climate equitable action framework, and that we continue to plant trees. Tree is important. A while back, I did AmeriCorps, and part of the AmeriCorps program is we travel in different states and work with different community members and different organizations. And one that I remember the most, and one that I actually love the most, was planting trees in the parks, because it's so important that we continue to grow new trees so that those trees can be preserved. And then I also want to make sure that we also expand our curbside composting program as well, because that is something that not a lot of folks believe in, but a lot of folks should practice and should continue to do.
Thank you, Sarah. Kelly?
Yes, I will commit to climate action change for Ramsey County. I'm in support of Ramsey County's climate action equity plan. I also am in support of green energy efficient and doing a healthier transportation option, and even the recycling and energy plant, and using our recycling and our trash and reusing what we can, and then making divert the energy from the trash into energy that we can use. I'm also in agreement of partnering with people that are experts in this field. So partnering with local advocacy groups, local organizations, looking at a national scale on what are other counties doing, what are other states or even countries doing. How can we be innovative in leading the way, making sure that our buildings are energy efficient, making sure that our buildings are maintained, right? So yes, I am in support of climate action change.
Thank you, Kelly. The next question. The Met Council and Ramsey County position is that they want the purple line on the Bruce Vento Trail. What is your position? The Met Council and Ramsey County position is that they want the purple line on the Bruce Vento Trail. What is your position?
Yeah, great question. Again, hot topic that's been in discussion the last 2 weeks. So I think that should go back to a little bit of history. So the Bruce Vento Trail was originally used as a railway. The county bought it for transit, and it was then converted into the Bruce Vento Trail until it could become the transit. The Bruce Vento Trail is used by many people daily. It's a beautiful trail. It's, green space. It's space that we don't have and you don't find often in a city. So I am in support of the Purple Line, and I am not 100% sold that it needs to go on the Bruce Vento Trail. I think there needs to be an alternative option for where the Purple Line goes. I do think the Purple Line is essential to our community. It's a vein that connects other transit, that can connect access to jobs, to housing, to resources. It can put jobs into our local cities and to help our residents. So I'm in support of the Purple Line, but going down the Bruce Vento Trail, I'm not 100% sold on that route. So an alternative route would definitely be what I support.
Thank you. Kelly, next we have Sarah.
As I stated earlier, the Bruce Vento Trail is a beautiful trail, and it's a trail that we have to upkeep and continue to keep it as many folks continue to use it. With Met Council project on the Purple Line, I truly also believe that there is another alternative way, especially a route that many citizens are using, where it's easy accessible for folks to get on and off, and also near businesses as well. And also, not just that, but if we can also be able to get the Purple Line to Century College. I know that there are a lot of high school students who use public transportation to go to Century College, and also current college students who use public transportation to get to Century College. So making sure that being able to partner and be a partner with Met Council, how can we have this conversation where we can make sure that we put the Purple Line in the right spot so that we can continue to have where it's accessible for all.
Thank you, Sarah. Next question. Gladstone Maplewood has become the bullseye for high concentration, high density housing projects. This is driven by county grants and tax subsidies. Discuss why it is good government policy to position all the more needy in one area. Do you want me to repeat that one?
Yes, please.
Gladstone Maplewood has become the bullseye for high concentration, high density of housing projects. This is driven by county grants and tax subsidies. Discuss why it is good government policy to position all the more needy in one area.
Oh, it's me. Okay. I think for what I believe is that, so this topic is a topic that I truly believe, like with good governing, we can be able to work with all in certain areas, whether it's within affordable housing or in single homes as well. And because with good governing, we will be able to talk to our community members, to able to hear the voice and bring the voice to the table too, and making sure that what we do and what we put in and how we invest in our community is that we also have heard them and have heard their voice so that we could continue to do the work that we're doing, and then that everything we do is accessible for all.
Thank you, Sarah. Kelly?
Oh, can you repeat that question just one more time?
Sure. Gladstone Maplewood has become the bullseye for high concentration, high density of housing projects. This is driven by county grants and tax subsidies. Discuss why it is good government policy to position all the more needy in one area.
I don't think it's good to position all the needy in one area. I think people should have the opportunity or the choice to choose where they live, and there should be affordable housing all throughout the county and all throughout cities. It shouldn't just be in one area. That's really seems discriminatory to me. And so I'm not sure why they're doing that. It's definitely something I I'm willing to learn more about and look into. A few questions that I have that follow up that is, is it the area? Is it the, land that's available right now for building? But I do not think that government should have low-income housing in just one area. I mean, we want to make sure it's throughout, so it's, families have access to transportation. Again, transportation, good schools, good parks, safe neighborhoods, jobs, groceries, right? Like, there needs to be transportation, so I just don't think putting it in one area is a great idea.
Thank you, Kelly. This will put us at question 9, I think we've gotten a little off on the chart here. This question is, as weather events become more extreme, please indicate what action the county needs to take in surface water management to avoid flooding. As weather events become more extreme, please indicate what action the county needs to take in surface water management to avoid flooding.
Wonderful question. Not very familiar with service water lines, but I'm going to say that we should make sure that our infrastructure is able to handle rainwater, is able to handle the drainage, and making sure that our sewage drains, our plumbing, or the drainage that it goes to is clean, it's flow, they're up to date, they're not old. Working with the city, on local cities, on making sure how can we help them to make sure that it all flows. I know infrastructure, you think of Maplewood and St. Paul, you can tell where you're moving into by the plows, right, and the condition of the road. So making sure that they are, that we're helping the all cities out within Ramsey County to have that, so it's not pooling in one area. But again, not an area I think of often, but now it's going to be something I do.
Thank you, Kelly. Sarah?
So I truly believe in being able to partner with the city and work with the city to make sure that we continue to have clean streets. When we don't have clean streets, that's where, especially during the fall or during the spring, even during winter too, right? Once the snow starts to melt, and we had to continue to make sure that we continue to have clean streets, so that when it does rain or when snow does melt, it's not flooding our homes or our neighbors. So making sure that we continue to do that and work with the city to make sure that we continue to invest in our cities, and the street infrastructure is such an important thing that we have to continue doing. And if we have to, I truly believe that we should continue to hire more folks to able to manage all of that, because 3 cities, North St. Paul, Maplewood, and White Bear Lake, are really big cities and also clean. And that is a way for us to continue to make sure that we have a clean environment as well.
Thank you, Sarah. The next question, how would you work to reduce crime and make our community feel safer? How would you work to reduce crime and make our community feel safer? And this question goes first to Sarah.
Yes, so I think there's multiple different type of crime and safety that we need to hold in our community. One, I truly believe that we had to continue to invest in our young people. And that being said, we had to continue to make sure that there are programs that exist for them to make sure that they continue to find a pathway for themselves to be successful, whatever that may means in the county. We have to bring in programs that already exist and continue to invest in them, because I truly believe that our young people are our future leaders. And once we get them involved and be more active, we definitely will have a safe community. And also not just that, but we should continue to invest in the Alternative Response Initiative. And that is one where the county embed social workers or emergency community center, and also public health nurse to able to respond to something that is not a 911 emergency. And mental health is a really big thing in our community, and we want to make sure that we continue to give them the needs and the support that they want and need without knowing.
Thank you, Sarah. Kelly?
Yes. So I feel that we need to continue working with our local sheriff and local law enforcement officers, making sure that our streets and neighborhoods are well lit, sidewalks that, that we just have a sense of that safety, ensuring that our first responders and the work that they do, that they're funded, that they feel supported, building relationships with outside partners, outside organizations that can come in and assist as well, building those relationships within community. That's really important, making sure that our local police and our local law enforcement have those relationships within community, knows community members. They know that they're a trusted resource that they can go to, they can turn to, having safe places for youth, and that could be community centers, that could be, day programs, just really building those relationships across the board. But I think it really starts with making sure that our local law enforcement are trained, are efficiently trained and updated on their training, that, that they're funded properly as well, too. And really just doing our part as residents and community members and neighbors.
Thank you. Kelly, next we have, what do you think should be the city's top transportation-related priority? What do you think should be the city's top transportation-related priority? And this question goes first to Sarah.
Yes, I think all transportation modes are important and that we should continue to invest in all, prioritizing transit, public transit as well as cars, making sure the roads are safe, and also being able to include sidewalks for walking, biking, bike lanes as well for bikers, and also making sure that bike lanes are efficient too, and that they also have their own safe bike lanes and protective bike lanes, because as we all know, there's many different folks, different drivers out there, and making sure that we continue to protect drivers as well as walkers to bikers. So I don't think there's any that we should prioritize. I think it should be all.
Thank you, Sarah. Kelly?
So I think that I'm in agreement. I think that we need to have transportation that works for all, whether you bike, whether you walk, whether you drive, or whether you use public transportation, that we are making sure that our infrastructure, our roads, our bridges, our sidewalks, our, streets are updated and not old, or not, are not dilapidated. They're just updated and they work well for all of us. Making sure that transit, again, access. Transit is really important. There are a lot of people that don't have transportation, that don't drive, that rely on public transit to get to school, to get to daycare, to get to work, and making sure that we have those options and we have access. So I believe that, making sure that, again, transportation that works for all, whichever mode you decide to take.
Thank you, Kelly. Next question. The author is concerned that due to the exodus of workers from downtown, due to Ramsey County and others' work-from-home policy, that will require property tax revenue from the suburbs like Maplewood to be increased to make up for the lost revenue. What programs, the author would like to know, which programs are you prepared to cut to avoid higher Maplewood property taxes? So the author's concerned that due to the exodus of workers from downtown, due to Ramsey County and others' work-from-home policy, will require that property tax revenue be made up by suburbs like Maplewood. Which programs are you prepared to cut to avoid high Maplewood property tax hikes, is the question posed. This one goes first to Sarah.
Yeah, so I truly believe that we had to have stable property tax, because if without stable property tax, we won't be able to secure homes for our families, whether they are renters or homeowners. And that could be really hard, because I want to make sure that our community members stay where they want to stay and live where they want to live. I truly will work with county partners and city partners to work in that issues, because I don't believe in cutting, but I do believe in moving funds in certain areas to make sure that we keep property tax stables as well as our services going, and making sure that we find different ways to work to ensure that property tax don't go up in District 7.
Thank you, Sarah. Kelly?
Well, I'm gonna address a couple of things. I don't think that it's Ramsey County's work from home policy that is driving out the businesses in downtown. I think it's just a change in the landscape. But it should not rely on the suburban county cities to foot that. And again, I'm not in support of cutting programs. It's really looking at the budget overall and seeing where can you decrease in some areas, but not cutting any programs, because all county services and programs are essential. I am also in agreement and for working with the city of St. Paul on initiatives and initiatives that encourage businesses to come back downtown, that encourages developers to redevelop downtown, to reimagine what downtown could look like, so it's not on the suburban cities or us increasing property taxes to make up for that loss. But again, I'm not in favor of cutting any programs.
Thank you, Kelly. Next question. How long have you resided in the district? And kind of a follow-up question, how will you gain knowledge in areas you are unfamiliar with? So how long have you resided in the district? And how will you gain knowledge in areas you are unfamiliar with? And this first goes to Kelly.
Yeah, so this is a great question. I've been an East Metro resident for the past, my daughter's 9, so for the past 13 years. We purchased our home in Maplewood in 2020, I believe, or 21. So I've been a District 7 resident for the last 4 years. And how will I work with communities that I'm unfamiliar with? It's really putting yourself out there. It's really going in spaces where people gather. It's, really meeting community members where they're at. And it's also reaching out, right? Being in spaces with people, and going to community events, being present, being available, being approachable. It's a whole solution of things, and it's working with all communities and really starting where people gather. Schools.
Thank you, Kelly.
Yeah.
Sarah?
Yeah, so I've been a Ramsey resident since 6-7 years now. I'm a renter, so I do move quite often, and I've been in North St. Paul for a year now. And being a renter is not easy, and moving around is also not easy. It just depends where I live and where rent has gone up or not. And I truly believe in working alongside of everyone, whether that's community partners, just community members, and hearing their stories and their vision too, especially what they want to see change or happen or improve in the community or in District 7. And I truly believe listening from others truly makes a huge difference. I have not worked, but I have been able to learn about different resources from different community members that I have met, and how when I do go out and door knock, I share those resources to those community members, whether they, especially hearing their stories and hearing their struggles, and continue to do that, because I truly believe that that is something we have to do, and I am a person who I love to learn, because I believe that every day you can learn something new.
Thank you, Sarah. Next question. What strategies do you support to meet the significant unmet need for affordable housing in the county? What strategies do you support to meet the significant unmet need for affordable housing in the county? And this one goes to Kelly first.
Yeah, so I'm in favor of the Housing Redevelopment Authority and the incentives that come with that, and how you can increase or work with builders at any stage to build and to develop housing. I'm also in support of initiatives and programs that can host first-time home buyers, that are available for current owners for renovations and for renovating, older houses, working with local cities and working with local, the Met Council on, is there a zoning issue? Is it a policy issue? How can we work together to make sure that affordable housing is an option for all residents, and, just, again, afford the quickest way to help solve affordable housing is to build affordable housing. We need to make sure that we are able to build, redevelop, remodel, and making sure that people have access to housing.
Thank you, Kelly. Sarah?
Yes, as I mentioned earlier, I truly believe that we have to continue to invest in our Housing Redevelopment Authority. And that being said, we have to continue to strategize how we get this information out to our community members as well about affordable housing. And there is the first-gen home ownership buyer that recently came out, that anybody that, again, first-gen, anybody, parents never bought a home, you are qualified and able to buy one. Use first-gen, and they will support you that process, and also money to able to help you with your down payment, and also you can stack that with first-time home buyer too. So being able to stack different programs on top of different programs, I truly believe that will help a lot of folks to able to buy their first home, and also working with the union to make sure that we continue to build homes, affordable homes for folks, and also with Habitat Humanity, being able to work with them. I know that they're building new homes as well, and how to make sure that we continue to educate and share these resources with our families and our neighbors and our community members as well, and being able to host education events. I don't know if it's education events or more of informational event as well, because I think that's super important. I went to one that the East Side elected official hosted, and I had learned so much more about first-gen home buyers, Habitat for Humanity, and all of that. So continue to invest in strategizing that.
Thank you, Sarah. Okay, next question. What kind of policies, if any, will you pursue to promote social and racial justice in our community? What kind of policies, if any, will you pursue to promote social and racial justice in our community? And this goes to Sarah first.
Yeah, so what comes to my mind when it comes to social justice for our community is making sure that we continue to invest in our workforce development, and because I truly believe that we had to continue invest in our community members, that they also work in their community, in their town, because when we do that, folks that already live there know what's happening in their community and know what the needs in their community. So we had to continue to doing that, and to able to bring more jobs into our county as well. So I don't know exactly the policy would be, but I should believe and continue to look more into that and work with city partners and other counties, commissioners, and other state rep as well, so that we can secure that in our county.
Thank you, Sarah. Kelly?
Yeah, so we need to invest in our communities, especially our underrepresented communities and our minority communities, and investing in them with workforce, with policies and initiatives that work for them and really meet them where they're at, but also working with local nonprofits and local agencies that are already doing the job. I think of transforming systems together, that is working with community. So you're working with community members and really bringing them to the table. So it shouldn't be we're making decisions for you. It's how can we work with you to better help your community and to better help you. It's not an easy solution, and there's no one shoe fits all answer for social and racial justice, especially in communities that have been historically underrepresented and have high health and economic disparities. But really working with them and putting them at the table and letting them lead in that work.
Thank you, Kelly. Next question. Who is the role model that has inspired you to serve as a Ramsey County Commissioner? Who is the role model that has inspired you to serve as a Ramsey County Commissioner? And this one, we're going to go back to our order for question 1. So, Sarah?
Yes. So there's so many people that I could think of when it comes to this. I started campaigning in 2017, and I've been campaigning since then. And I never really thought that I would run for office until I was city council member Nelsie Ying's campaign manager last year. And I was actually her campaign manager the year before her reelection. I came on because she wanted to create a co-governing campaign. And that means that while she's in office, she also run her campaign on the side, talk to community members, work with community members, share resources with them, and all the above, right? And that really inspired me because we literally had a conversation about what happened to elected officials when they get elected. And she came to me to be her campaign manager when she decided to do her co-governing campaign. And I stayed on when her reelection came up, and she inspired me a lot, and also brought up a lot of good issues that I never really thought of, more too deep into it. And she became an inspirational and a model for me to really think about our county our county overall, and our people as well, especially those who know that they have a voice but don't know how to use their voice. And Nelsie had helped me to fully understand that, and she is somebody who continues to support me now, and also I know in the future.
Thank you, Sarah. Kelly?
Yeah, so I have many role models that have helped shape me to be the leader that I am today. A few of them are local community leaders that are not in an elected official office, that they really lead with their heart and they really put community first. And when I decided to run for Ramsey County Commissioner, the decision was pretty easy. I see firsthand how policies and initiatives at all local levels of government affect people. And, you know, the county plays a vital role in all services for all residents. And I think that the role that we play as commissioners is vital, is really important, and just making sure that we lead with our heart and that we always put our community first. But you know, if we want real change, then we really need to work towards it. And I'm a big believer in, if I can't complain about something if I'm not willing to change it. But, you know, just the role model and why I decided to run was really because of, I see firsthand how some initiatives and policies really work and how some of them don't, and how people at the top that don't understand really what's going on the ground have these great big ideas, but the implementation just isn't working. So we need people that really understand what is going on in community and are willing to speak up and willing to do the hard work and really and just willing to, you know, put themselves out there.
Thank you, Kelly. This is the last question. What experience do you bring to the position of Commissioner of the County? Please comment on how your experience relates to the work of the county. What experience do you bring to the position of Commissioner of the County? Please comment on how your experience relates to the work of the county. And this one, we'll go with Sarah first.
Yeah, so I have more than 7 years working in nonprofit, right? But also being able to understand why it matters and the money that it's coming from too. Also, I've been working with Trooper Bound for 7 years, for 7 years, and being able to lobby at the federal level as well for TRIO programs, making sure that the federal government continue to fund our programs because it's such an important asset in the community that we live in. And for those who don't know, TRIO is college prep programs for low-income and first-generation students. I myself did that program when I was a high school student, and it really made a huge impact in my life. Also, I have done 2 years in AmeriCorps and being able to serve in different communities in different states and learning from all of that and how I can continue to bring that into District 7 and making sure that we also improve in the resources and the organizations and the partners that we have here as well. And also, I've been serving as the Minnesota TRIO treasurer on their board as well for the past year and a half, and being able to work with them and making sure that we continue to invest in the programs that we have here in Minnesota, as well as scholarships, and being able to distribute that to our young people that are either college students or high school students.
Thank you, Sarah. Kelly?
Yes, so I've feel that I have a great deal of experience. First of all, I work in the nonprofit sector. I am now the Chief Program Officer for Interfaith Action of Greater St. Paul, was formerly their Director of Department of Indian Work that oversaw programs that directly provided services into community. I'm also seated on 3 local nonprofit board of directors, and I sit on my tribe's housing board. So I understand the importance of board governance and what the difference of board governance and program development is, right? Fiscal responsibility and accountability. I oversee budgets that are over $3 million or $4 million, and it's not an $900 million budget, but I understand how budgeting works, that revenues and expenses have to match, and the importance of how to stretch a dollar. Again, just, that on-the-ground work, in the community work, working in the nonprofit sector, and really just making sure our programs and services run efficiently and effectively and at minimal cost as well.
Thank you, Kelly. In closing, we apologize if your question was not asked. We can never get to all the issues in a limited format such as this. We encourage you to directly contact the candidates. The closing statements will be given in the reverse order of the opening statements. Please remember, you have 2 minutes to conclude your remarks. Sarah?
Well, again, thank you to Roseville League of Women for allowing me to be here today, and thank you, Kelly, for being here too to make this possible. I truly believe that I am the best candidate for District 7 because of both my lived and professional experience as community organizer and as an academic coordinator. I believe that my lived experiences are a story cloth, and also with my lived experiences being able to share by the people in our county as well, and to guide my vision for District 7 so that everyone can thrive. I manage programs, ensure staff, and also train volunteers to be equipped and succeed in our program, whatever their position may be. And as a county board member, I will be responsible for ensuring that the county is delivering its services equitably and efficiently, and I know that I can ask the hard questions and hold staff accountable. For example, I serve 118 students per year, and each of them, I have held them accountable to make sure that they meet our program goals and also prepare them for the future. My students still come back and talk to me, still text me, call me when they are unsure about something. And to me, that means they know that I care about them, and they know that their future, they can ask me questions. And that is the same type of leadership that I will bring to the county. And that is what's needed at the county to deliver to our resident. And once I am elected, I will be the only county board member who is a renter. I will bring that missing perspective to the county board, and I will be able to bring that experience as a renter in the Ramsey County, where we had over 35% residents that are renter. My grassroots campaigns is reflective of the board support that I have in resident and labor. I have not had to rely on institutional support alone. I have been able to raise the most money in this race and be able to raise the most and have the most donors as well. And I truly believe that how one campaign is how one will govern.
Thank you, Sarah. Kelly?
Yeah, so thank you again, Roseville League of Women Voters, and Sarah for hosting, and then Sarah as well. Like I said, I'm running for Ramsey County Commissioner because county services play a vital role in maintaining a safe, healthy, and thriving community, addressing the diverse needs of residents, and enhancing overall quality of life. I've seen firsthand how policies and initiatives affect people, and people of all socioeconomic statuses. I'm ready to be an effective leader on day one because of my work in the community, my expertise in service delivery, and years of serving on a variety of nonprofit board of directors. I also believe that representation matters, and if elected, I'd be the first Native American elected to the Ramsey County Board of Directors. Fiscal responsibility is really important, so I just want to note that even though I have not raised the most money, I am very fiscal responsible on how my funds are spent and have a great working team behind me and the support. I am the DFL and labor endorsed candidate as well, and like I said, I'm ready to step into this role on day one. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. I would like to remind the viewing audience that the views expressed in this forum are those of the candidates and not those of the League of the Women Voters. The League of Women Voters is a nonprofit organization, and all the people involved in organizing and running this forum are volunteers. On behalf of the League of Women Voters, I would like to acknowledge and thank the candidates who are serving their community but with a willingness to participate in the democratic process by running for office. I also like to thank the audience for watching your candidates discuss issues that are important to your community. The forum will be rebroadcast in its entirety on Channel 16 and is available on demand at vod.maplewoodmn.gov and also on the Maplewood's YouTube channel. Every vote does count. This year, Election Day is Tuesday, November 5th. The polls are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. You have the options of early voting and voting by mail. For any questions on voting, go to the Ramsey County website, the Elections and Voting section. Please remember to vote. Thank you and good night.